Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a long hiatus, but JD Rich is back, man. A piece of life is life in one piece. Now, there has been so much going on with my personal life, man, but I'm not even going to get into that. But all I'm going to say is, man, check on your loved ones. Tell them you love them. Be there for your friends, man, and, and be happy. Try to find your best version of them. That's all I can say. Because the world, there's been a lot going on with the world and shit like that. And it's also just people in general. But other than that, we're here to talk about One Piece. Because that's what unites, I believe that's what unites the world. Or at least our community, people of our fan base in general. And it's just so good to be back with you guys, man. I'm committed fully into bringing you quality content and quality videos back up on what's going on in current. Because, bro, I know you guys heard about the 6-month hiatus that we're going to be on with the anime. And to be honest, I actually don't mind that. I really don't, because they've been killing it. I personally have never had a problem with any point of the anime as far as like animation, art style, or whatever. It's what made me fall in love with the story, especially the original. But this 6-month hiatus, it does hurt halfway, because the anime, the episodes and whatnot, the fights that we're supposed to get, but it's all for the better, because the manga is really where it's at. And you got to think about it. We're still in continuation with the manga, even though we're taking our annual 2-week breaks, 2-3 week breaks every now and again, even monthly breaks. But still, with the manga, we're going to be still farther ahead in the story. And on top of that, once these episodes get animated, it's just going to be a blessing. So hats off to Oda, hats off to Toei, everybody over there from the staff, production PAs, everybody, man. Hats off to you all. And the live action season 2 is coming this August. Hats off to Matt Owens and the cast and everyone, production and crew, everyone a part of it. Thank you for bringing us such an amazing live action and continuing to do what you do. Now, we're here to talk about 1129 and 1130. Now, I've missed most of the chapters that I've left off on when you last saw my videos, but we're just going to pick off right back here and go straight into it. Now, check this out. 1129, oh man, and 1130, amazing chapters. We're finally in elbaph, and we're finally getting introduced to the rest of the giant pirates. I guess you could say giant pirates, but mainly giants of elbaph, I guess. Now, when they arrive and they end up in the Legoland or whatever, and it's really some type of prison room or whatever with a giant mirror that the Straw Hats happen to be exploring and whatnot, and they realize they're in there with this giant who has a deer mask and a weapon of some sort. Now, reading both of these chapters, I figured out that this is actually Gerd. If you look at the legs, and the furry striped boots or whatever it is she wears, notice in the panel when they finally introduce her and Goldberg, like, look at her boots and then look at her cloak. It was her the whole time. And I assumed actually that was Loki. I thought the person with the deer was Loki. But when I first saw Loki, the one thing that stood out to me was his smile. But I'm going to get to that in a minute. Now, back to Gerd. Gerd was the one who was actually taking the Straw Hats and telling them that they're not going to escape and how they're going to be serving under him and whatnot and all that. And I guess, then the thing is, with Gerd, what's crazy is this. When they were fighting Gerd, because that's who it was with the deer mask, and Nami summoned Zeus and she didn't attack, Gerd blurted out, look in the panel, you can see it, Gerd blurted out, "I didn't make that." And I paid such strong attention to that, because the fact that Gerd looked at Zeus and said that "I didn't make that," that must be a testament to a correlation of her devil fruit, if she has one. Because, like, the thing is, we've heard so far that Loki killed his dad in order to eat a devil fruit. And Haruden is the king's son as well, and that is a crazy reveal too. So Haruden and Loki are brothers. It's kind of like a Thor and Loki situation all over again if you really think about it. But look at this. Now, Loki killed his dad to eat a devil fruit. Now we know that Loki has a devil fruit, but who's to say that there are no other giants with devil fruits on Elbaph. And the fact that Gerd said, I didn't make that, when she saw Zeus inside of the sky getting ready to attack her, it just made me thinking, what powers could she possibly have? Could they relate to the weather, or could they relate to just her having the ability to create things out of thin air? Maybe, I don't know. But the fact that she said, I didn't make that, she said it as if she could. It's implied that if she could do something like that, because she claimed that she didn't make that. So it's not, the cloud doesn't belong to her. So what kind of power does she have that correlates to cloud and weather type abilities? Who knows? Goldberg actually, and also Goldberg, he's the cook of the giant pirates, man, and he looks raw. I like Goldberg's look, and I'm curious to see what he can do. And also Gerd too, because the owl really stood out to me in this chapter. I just wonder what the owl can do, because like Gerd said, she didn't make the cloud that Nami made with Zeus, but yet she has an owl as well. So what powers and abilities does she have? I just can't wait to see them. We'll just speculate. But continuing on. Anyway, further in the chapter, as we see the Straw Hats, they're approaching Elbaph after Luffy. After later on, I think this is 11:30. Maybe I'm jumping in between chapters. Just bear with me for a moment. I'm back. This is the first video I've done in a while, so I got to get back into my rhythm. But anyway, Luffy and the gang that are current, while Frankie, Jinbei, Robin, and Brook, they all head to Elbaph in their own way. While Luffy and the others, they're near this bridge because they're leaving. They're apparently leaving the Lego room or whatever. And all they see is like frost mountains and ice trees and whatnot. But the thing is, they're approaching a bridge. And apparently we find out that this bridge leads to Elbaph. And Elbaph looks insane. Like you got a big giant tree that, like, with 2-story levels. They got a main floor, then they got the second level, and then the rest of it is the tree. But it looks absolutely beautiful. It also looks crazy because I love it how they have the actual cannons. You can see cannons mounted at different sections in each parts of the tree. Amazing. So it's like, I can understand people having problems just sailing directly to it, because coming to this land, man, this is just insane. Like, look at the atmosphere. If you read the manga, just look at that. It is beautiful, and this is going to be a chapter of chapters. And on top of that, a slight tidbit, I think Broggy mentioned that Luffy was on the same level as Shanks now, so that's another burners. Love my ginger ale. Yeah, one of the giants, Dory or Broggy, one of them mentioned that Luffy was on the same level as Shanks now as far as Rapaya, and it's actually really official too. Now, of course, I wouldn't say Luffy is stronger than Shanks, but he's officially on his level as far as rank, Yonko, which is all that matters because, bro, you rose and you earned that title. Now, as the Luffy and the gang are now finally crossing the bridge, before they cross the bridge, there's an interaction where they notice Gerd and Goldberg walking out. And the thing is, Gerd is really talking trash about Loki, how he's the cursed son or a disgraced son or something like that, or however it was said in the chapter. I got my phone right here. I could look it back up, but I'm just going to keep going. Now, she really goes in on Loki, saying that, talking about Harridan, why would Harridan make him a part of the crew? Some other sorts. I'm going to pull up my phone a little bit. And also, she really questioned Harridan and why him and Loki had something worked out. But it's crazy because they gone and revealed that he's the shame of Elbaph. He's the shame of Elbaph. So, and I believe that more along ties to him killing his dad for that damn devil fruit that he possibly has. So, and also, take in mind, at the end of the chapter, you see Loki chained up, introducing himself to Luffy and whatnot. Giant sea stone chains? Loki has a devil fruit. Those have to be giant sea stone chains, of course, but giant sea stone chains. And it took all of the giants to subdue Loki. And I'm going to cover that in a minute because I got a big speculation on what Loki's devil fruit possibly could be. And the fact that he's smiling, the fact that he's literally cheesing in front of Luffy, man, it adds all the more depth to his character and just more backstory to his lore, because you want to know more about him. He, like, you kind of wonder if Loki is damn near D. Look at him smiling. Even in captivity, the man is smiling, full on cheesing. Crazy. But check this out. Now, Gerd, of course. Gerd went on to say that Loki was the shame of elbaph and whatnot. Also, the Giants got new bounties too, 1.8 billion for each of them. Well deserved and earned. I think it should be 2.5 apiece for real. Just go ahead and make it a 5 billion split. You know what I'm saying? Like that really should have been fair, because they're giants. They're giants, man. You got to remember they're giants. But the 1.2 billion is alright. It'll do. Because I'm glad that, because I'm just, what's crazy is this though. They were at 100 million a couple centuries ago. Well, maybe a century ago, but yeah, some decades and chains ago, they were at 100 million. So that speaks to how much the bankroll for bounties has went up over the course of pirate history, especially with the stuff that Zebed's done. So you had to raise bounties on anybody, period, who was a pirate. Am I right? Anyway, so after that, like I said, back to Gerd and Goldberg. I know I'm staying on this, but Gerd, she really let Loki have it as far as like scolding his name and whatnot, man. And what's crazy is, because I'm looking it up on my phone right now. Let's see. Here it is. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, she was wondering why did Harridan let some crackpot in the crew in the first place, and I guess that crackpot may have been Loki. Now this tells me that Loki probably wanted to create a bond. No, Harridan probably wanted to create a bond with Loki. He probably was like, all right, man, we both got the same. We apparently both my father claims us both as sons, so we need to try to get along for the sake of the country, because after all, we're both royals. Now, I bet Harridan invited Loki along trying to bond with him and maybe be civil, but Loki probably abused Harridan's invitation and just ran too rampant for them to just manage as far as being a crew member, and maybe he was just too much to sail with, you know? And to where he would like fight with other crewmates to where he could potentially put them in harm. Who knows? But I just don't believe Loki was all that the best of company. Now, Gerd can't stand him. And then she says that he deserves a worse title, like something even more, I guess. And I love how Goldberg calls Harridan Roto. I might call him Roto, but I'll stick with Harridan for now. Also, there's something about, he mentions smuggling intruders. Harridan smuggling intruders. This tells me something. Harridan smuggling intruders of his own. Who could they consider an intruder that Harridan might be smuggling in? Because they consider Loki to be hold on. Yeah. They're meant to arrest intruders. Basically, anybody who steps on their land or near their land, like you're either getting arrested or you're getting pummeled off it and nowhere near it. Harridan's intruders. These are basically Harridan's refugees. So people he's willingly brought to the country deliberately against the will of intruders and outsiders. So this has really got my mind blowing, because you remember Jaguar D. Saul is in Elbaph. What if Harridan brought Jaguar D. Saul to Elbaph and they considered Jaguar an intruder? And who knows? They said intruders plural, so I'm thinking Saul and maybe some other people and the man marked by flames. Who knows? Harridan probably brought Saul and the man marked by flames, or Saul could be the man marked by flames. But I got another thing for that in a minute, because I think the man marked by flames is Dragon. They said that when you go near the ship of the man marked by flames, maelstroms appear. And the thing is, if you were to get caught up in a maelstrom while sailing near a strip, what could possibly cause that. They say maelstroms always appear around this so-called ship that the man marked by flames happens to sail. And I think that's caused by powers of the wind. I believe Dragon is an airbender, and I believe he has an airbending devil fruit tied to the origins of the wind dragon god of the seas. You got to look that up. Can't go this deep into it. That's further along. I'll get to that later because I'm back new uploading. But Dragon has a wind dragon god related devil fruit that allows him to literally control air itself. So he uses that to mainly create maelstroms using the wind to weather, to spin the water currents, creating a maelstrom and sinking any ship that can approach his ship. So I think it's Dragon. That's just a slight theory headcanon I'm putting out there. But back to what I'm saying. Harridan's intruders. I believe he brought in Saul. I believe he may have brought in other people as well who are also significant to the story. Because if they're mentioning Harridan's intruders, these are probably important figures. Don't just let that slide by. They said Harridan's intruders. These are more than likely people he's allied with or created bonds with, of course, who may have connections to Luffy. Who we don't know. Not even, and even if they don't have connections to Luffy, they'll just be important because I'm banking on Harridan having some type of connection towards Jaguar D Saul. I'm banking on it. Now, as we continue along, we get the facts. We get apparently Luffy and the crew making it away across that bridge. But Luffy jumps down, and the thing is, what this is where it gets crazy. As Luffy jumps down, after they avoid being spotted by Goldberg and Gerd, because Usopp was excited to finally be in the land of Elbaph. They're finally here after Luffy gear fifth the hell out of that wall and finally broke through the barrier. Now, Nami, of course, snatched Luffy's mouth because he said, hey, he was literally about to get the attention, just casually say what's up to the Giants. Like, hey, Gerd, hey, Goldberg, I'm new here. What's up with y'all, man? Let's fight. You know how Luffy would be. Or you got something to eat? You know how Luffy is, man. So, Zoro, we didn't see him yet until the other panel, but Nami snatched Luffy. Usopp is just balling out with excitement. And Zoro, he's trying not to let them get spotted. Now, man, continuing on, as Luffy jumps off the bridge after they have brief conversations about the land, basically, Luffy ends up running into Loki. He ends up running into Loki, who is smiling and cheesing, literally, as he is in, how can I say that? Encapturement and in captivity. Let's just say that while he is in captivity, he's in custody of the giants right now in giant sea stone chains. Now, Loki's ability. I'm gonna put this out there right now. Due to him smiling, this is what I speculate. I believe Loki has a devil fruit that gives him similar abilities to Luffy's Gear 5th as far as imagination. Now check this out. I believe Loki's devil fruit is the antithesis of Luffy's devil fruit, meaning that Luffy, he uses his imagination when he goes Gear 5th because he can fight using whatever his imagination can come up with. I believe Loki has a similar ability where it's based on his thought process and he can project images of his thoughts and make them physical realities. So if Luffy can use his imagination to fight, let's say Loki can use his thought process to project images of his thoughts out and just use it to attack you. Like him projecting a giant, him projecting a army, him projecting him thinking of an army and projecting out. I believe Loki has some type of ability that is similar to Luffy that allows him to use some form of imagination or thought in order to create inanimate objects or animate inanimate objects, either way. So it could be a flip coin to Luffy's devil fruit, and that would make for a damn good clash. Because Luffy versus the flip coin of himself, because Loki called himself the sun god. So if Loki has a devil fruit and it took all of the giants to restrain Loki, and he has a devil fruit and calls himself the sun god, I'm banking on him having similar abilities to Luffy's Gear 5th, but in their own variation. And maybe it's not completely the same. It can't be, but still, this devil fruit may be It has to be OP. If it took all of the giants to apprehend Loki, this has to be an OP devil fruit. And on top of that, with Loki smiling like that, who's to say he doesn't have Conqueror's Haki? Maybe. I'm just saying, man. I believe it's something about him smiling and while he's in shackles and while he's captured just makes him seem so lethal. It's the smiling for me, man. That smile just carries so much weight. And you know what smiling means for those who carry the D. And I'm not saying Loki's a D, but bro, that'd be crazy if he was, but he doesn't need to be. Obviously, he's good the way he is. I don't think he needs to be a D, and if he is, insane. But I will speculate on him having Conqueror's Haki, and I will speculate on his Devil Fruit being similar to Luffy's as far as Luffy's Gear 5th abilities. Loki's Devil Fruit has abilities that tie with Gear 5th. And I'm speculating this on the fact that he relates himself and calls himself a sun god, and he has a devil fruit. It took every giant to restrain him. So what abilities do you have? I gotta know, and I can't wait. That's all I'm gonna give you for now, man. It feels good to be back. Much love to you all out there, and I hope you all doing well. Like I said earlier, man, tell your loved ones you love them. Tell your friends you care about them. You know, if your friends are like your family, tell them you love them, whatever. And you know, be grateful. That's what I've learned over my hiatus, man. I've really learned that I gotta be more grateful, and I'm starting to take that into consideration. You know, not just consideration. I'm starting to apply it in everyday life, and I have a lot of flaws that I gotta work on, but we all do. Much love to y'all, man. This has been JD Rich. I'm signing out. And remember, a piece of life is life in one piece. I'll catch you guys later.